Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zachary Nolan.
My name's Carter Nolan.
Welcome back. This is episode 2. It was a double release, so we just waited a couple hours to release the second video. If you haven't checked out part 1,
It's like
check it out.
2:30 a.m. right now.
It is.
tiring.
It is. It's not that big a deal.
You
But
don't
anyway, yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. But yeah, no, we're here to talk about show our reactions. We have some footage from the
course we do.
episode
We
of
always
us
do.
reacting. Yeah, if this is your first time tuning into one of these types of videos that we make this whenever a new show drops.
Like
it's
and
fun.
subscribe.
Yeah, that too. That too.
What he said.
But yeah, so let's get into this episode. This episode was, it's interesting because, and I like that this episode does more than what it has to, if that makes sense. Like this episode, because they did a double release.
Well, you know what I view this as?
Mhm.
The first episode set up the characters, the second episode set up the plot.
Yeah, no, for sure, actually. And, like, I'll say a couple gripes that we have with this episode. Mainly gets fixed. Like, most of the gripes that we have, in like, Sabine is annoying until the
Well, you
end.
know
Like,
what the
she
thing
gets,
is? Most things in this episode that have any sort of issues, they get resolved right away. Like a lightsaber in the stomach. It gets resolved in 2 days.
Is that a good thing, though?
She
Okay.
should be in a back to 10 for a month.
This is
I'm
the big
sorry.
thing.
Like,
is-
why do lightsabers mean nothing anymore?
Yeah, no, she should have. They undersell that, or at least
She was doing robot
or
brain
if
surgery
you're
the next day.
unwilling to. Well, she failed at it, but if you're unwilling to, why don't you just cut off a hand? Because no one ever died from getting a hand chopped off. Like, yeah.
I mean, arguably the most powerful character in Star Wars had both his arms and legs cut off, then burned to a crisp, and it made
But
him
anyway-
the best character
but anyway-
in cinematic history.
We'll get into the. Mhm.
Best villain.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying you got real worked up there.
I know.
But yeah, here's our first reaction. The Phantom's nice.
Hey!
Let's go.
Let's go.
I am happy to see that. That is a
Phantom's
good sign.
back.
That is a good sign. Always great to see it. Nice
It
seeing
honestly baffles me that, like, it's one of those things, every time you see it, you're like, that is, like, by the time period this is taking place, that is dated technology. That is CIS.
Yeah,
That is, that's, you know what that is? That's like going into a modern war and having, like, an old, like, 1940s Tommy gun. Like,
Yeah.
that is essentially what you are doing.
With the Phantom, we also see Chopper.
Like,
Don't know if that's it. Hey! Wait, they left him on the fucking ship?
no, that's my boy Dave.
So Chopper's a mixed bag for me. I love Chopper, and I love that you
He's
can tell
portrayed
what he's
the
saying. Yeah,
exact
he's
same.
great. He's great. Problem though, he doesn't do anything. Like when he does something, it's great. But but they pretty much just have it. Like I hate the fact that he's attached to the ship.
That he's relegated to the ship.
Why is he always like this? This is a nitpick.
I think they'll fix this.
This
to be
is a
fair.
nitpick, yes. However, it's worth noting in shots in safe areas or even unsafe areas, it's important to be able to show that the characters have the potential to do things, and like it's
And also, well, especially since Chopper has been useful in combat before.
yeah, they're not going to go that deep into that. I know they're not because they can't because it'll.
We can't
mess
see him like
everything.
wheeling around.
But
like,
yeah.
like,
But yeah, no, like it's just a nitpick. We get to the main crux of the issue, which we kind of figured out a bit, and they've kind of talked about this in they talked about this in The Mandalorian season 3, but like ex-Imperial's working for New Republic because New Republic is idiots, and that means we get for the Empire.
I can't do that, General. They've been cleared for departure.
I said stop that ship. That's an order.
Oh no!
well, this is pretty much like the same as like kind of like the real world equivalent.
Yes,
So, like,
yes,
X-
of World War II. Yes,
yeah.
I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
yeah, I don't. Glad I don't need to explain it.
Yeah.
But then the interesting thing is a little bit of a name drop of an HK series droid. Do you know what that's from?
Yeah.
Do you know who HK-47 is?
Yeah. Meatbag.
Old Republic.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. I was very
Anyway,
happy to hear
also, okay, so here's the one thing. We'll get to this reaction. The Inquisitor, or the ex-Inquisitor? We don't know. We're assuming he's an Inquisitor shows
He
up.
looks. Wait a minute.
Bitch, you gotta run faster than that.
She hadn't made her run.
Oh! So, here's the thing.
He looks like a medieval knight.
That's kind of what some of the old Inquisitor masks were.
I know, but this one was a bit more on the nose.
It
than
is
some of the
worth
other ones.
noting that I'm a little concerned because it's funny. Because obviously, like, the writers know that this is a big fucking deal for us. That we need to know who the fuck this is.
I'm just worried
What's
it's gonna...
scaring me is that they're not giving us fucking anything. And what I mean by that is that
He doesn't even talk.
they don't even talk!
You know what I'm worried about?
It's
Worried-
nothing.
I just don't want fifth brother treatment.
I don't
That's
want
what
that.
I'm calling it.
He hasn't
Like-
said a word. Oh, we know.
And the whole
We know he's male because he grunts. I wish I was lying about that. We know he's male because he grunts. And yeah, that's it. Like, I'm intrigued to know who this is, but I'm worried that the show is not focusing on that. I'm worrying the show has already relegated to the fact that, like, and Star Wars doesn't usually do this, but I'm scared that they're falling into the trap of just, that's Morok or whatever his name is. They mumble a lot. It's, who's Morok? He's Morok. And then that's it. Like, I want to know who's behind that thing.
And that's the thing. It's like, you just because he's like, it's one of those things where it's clear that he is the side character to the duo, essentially, when it comes to the Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where, like, if he's going to be a side character, then that's fine with him being a side character, but establish that rather than all this mystery around the side character. The mystery should be around the main character.
Yeah.
Because that gets you intrigued in the main character because they're,
So-
they're the one you're supposed to pay attention
So-
to. If you're sidetracked, and then you learn that this guy's actually just a fucking nobody, you just wasted time.
Yeah. And the plot that they're aiming at is kind of a lot, and I don't want to say, like, it just so happens that this plot is a lot. And I mean a lot. Like Jedi Survivor. It's a lot like Jedi Survivor. To the point where it's like, what are they doing? They're going to another galaxy and getting... I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying it's really neat, the parallels.
But you know what's interesting though? It's funny that you say that because I literally, when Ahsoka in the first episode went across that ruined area and she like brushed away the stuff, I'm like, is she gonna like sit down, rest,
Yeah.
skim? Like,
But yeah, no, honestly, this episode was solid, and it gave us insight into hopefully more climactic battles and stuff in the next one. Like, they have a tracker on them, so...
honestly, just
here's the thing,
once
I think...
Thrawn shows up and a
Right.
war breaks out, that's when this is gonna get
And that's the
interesting.
thing. I'm hoping that this show recognizes you can't just hold on the... Like, you put them in the trailer. You can't just let it go like, oh yeah, he'll show up at the end. Nah.
No.
You gotta get to Thrawn by episode 3, 4 max.
And you know what the thing is?
Mhm.
My hope is that essentially what their plan is to bring in Thrawn, essentially do Heir to the Empire, except do it with the Rebels crew, the Star Wars Rebels crew, rather than Luke, Han, Leia, as it is in the original Timothy Zahn books.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. And subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
How did my father die?
Like a panther.